fan over there.
What's up?
Damn. Let's go. Monumental Mindsets episode
Monumental Mindsets, baby.
nine. Nine.
You
We just
wanna
have
you
one
wanna
more to
make
do
sure
at
I'm
10.
recording before we start or no?
You're good. I can see it. I can see right here.
Yeah.
It says recording. Yep.
Yeah,
Recording right there
buddy.
on the side.
All
All
right, I
right.
like
We're
it.
good to go, man.
Do
Good
it.
morning. You looking fucking
Good morning.
great. All blacked out. Damn.
I get blacked out as well, my man.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm in the garage over
So
here,
good.
man. It's cold as hell,
Yeah.
but,
Hold on.
we're
If I
getting
could
it done.
get over. Come on. All right.
Think it's I'm gonna check the weather right now. I'm fucking sitting in a 34 degree
You
fucking
got the Homer Simpson boxes on?
yeah. That is amazing, dude. Those are the best boxers in the world. Homer's eating the donuts. Dude,
Oh
that's
shit.
amazing. Oh my God. Well, congratulations, brother. We're here, episode 9. We made it. We got a quickie going out today.
Yes,
So
sir.
today we're
Quickie.
we're gonna we're gonna be doing some quotes, and we're gonna be doing some monumental mindset stuff to get you through your Friday, power you through the weekend, and hopefully get you to the Monday where we're gonna have the 10th episode released.
Yes, sir.
Know what I'm saying?
Rank them
Get those
out.
bad boys. Yeah. All right. So off camera, we were talking about one of the quotes that we are going to talk about right now, and I figured we would just do it on camera because shooting from the
Yeah.
hip like always. But here's one of those things that I was writing right over here. So this is where we're going to open it up at. So for Monumental Mindsets writing, it's going to be so sometimes you need to catch yourself in the exact moment. That moment you're being a bitch, and remind yourself that you can't change the outcome tomorrow. You can only change it now. So you need to act and act fast. What do you think about that?
What do I think about that? Well, I was trying not to be a bitch this morning, waking up early for this podcast. So I could have easily been a bitch and rolled over and went back to sleep. Every might of me wanted to. So, but I mean, overall, right? It's you go through a lot of hard things in life, right? And you can complain about it. You can be a bitch. You can cry about it. But you also can, learn from it, or you can, make the best out of any situation, right? Good or
Mm-hmm.
bad, but especially the bad. You learn a lot more through the bad, in my experience at least. When you go through pain, you go through hard times. That's when you learn the most because you buckle down. And you're like, fuck it. I'm gonna, find a way out of this, or bust through a wall and punch, punch
Punch
through
you
a
through the
wall
wall.
and work through it because you know there's I mean times in the past where you go through these negative rabbit holes where you just keep on you mess up something, or you mess up in a relationship, or you mess up in a sport, you mess up at work, and you just keep on going down that negative rabbit hole because negativity is very contagious for yourself, for others, and
Mm,
you know and it's you just
yeah.
keep on going negative, so you really just got to stop being a bitch, like you said. And it comes down to that, right? It kind of sounds harsh, but you really do. You just got to be like, fuck, I'm not a bitch, and you need to find your way out of something, and grow, man. Like I've been through shit, you've been through shit, and the more shit you've been through, the better you become, right? No mud, no lotus. So, I like that
I
saying.
love that saying, man. Every time
Yeah,
you tell
no,
me that, like when I'm like, hey, man, I got like this thing going on, and you're just like, hey, man, no mud, no lotus. Like, I love
right.
that because it reminds you to kind of like, recenter yourself and reground yourself and just make sure that like you understand that like you are the seed that you're planting and
Yeah.
that, the seeds need mud. The lotus needs mud. The ecosystem or how do you say it? Like the symbiotic relationship between like you and the world that you exist in,
Uh-huh.
like it needs the mud. Like you need that thing to grow. Like not only do you need the sunlight and you need like the proper nutrients, but like you need the mud,
Yeah.
and like the mud is like the trial. The mud is the hard time. The mud is like the shit that you have to go through. The manure, you have to smell that stuff. You have to get it in your eyes. You have to get it in your fucking nose, and you have to like put it inside of your coffee and just be like, "Ugh," and drink that shit. Because like if you don't, you know you will not exist into the lotus that you are. So I love that saying that you tell me, man. Like it's important. It is.
It really is, man. I mean, because like like people ask how you stay in good shape, how do you go through all that pain and the tattoos? I'm like, trust me, I've been, all the bad shit I've been through. That's how I channel it, right? So it's like without all the pain and the suffering, I wouldn't, have this great habit of working out every day. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
at one point I was, sick of being made fun of for being a skinny kid and blah blah blah. So I'm grateful for going through all that because you know, now I'm gonna have this identity where I'm like, I'm really into fitness and really this. So it grew to be something beautiful in life, So I took something negative, right? Being made fun of, little skinny guy, blah blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And now it's, I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna start working out, blah blah, and
Mm-hmm.
and not even just that. There's a lot of things that drove me to start working out. A lot of things mentally that I was going through, and you know, working out's been my outlet. And when I think of stop being a bitch, there's times I have a tough day at work and I want to complain, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna use that energy. I'm gonna pump my biceps today, and so it's just I think the biggest, the best, the easiest way to say it is take that negative energy and drive it into something positive, right? You know, you
Mm-hmm.
can you can easily take it into something negative and just, exponentially increase the negativity, or you can take that negative and fucking pump it into something positive, right? And I think it's easier said than done, but like you said, you just gotta do it, not be a bitch
Yeah.
and just do it. It's for everyone's different. I can't speak for everybody, but I speak from my own experience. And anytime I feel something negative, I'm like, how can I use this to do something positive, right?
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. And kind of like, going back and bouncing off the quote and stuff. And it's like everybody always kind of wants to um you always kind of want to like do Monday morning quarterbacking, or at least
Yeah.
me, right? Maybe not you. I'm not talking directly to you. I'm not talking directly to anybody, but I guess like for, in virtue, like I'm talking to me.
Hmm.
Um, like, and I always want to do like Monday morning quarterbacking or, like I always want to do like, man, I really could have like, just maybe, gotten down from the top step of the sauna and go down to the bottom step of the sauna and really get that 20-25 minutes inside of there. But now it's 17 minutes. I'm a bitch. Right.
Yeah.
And it's not saying that like, safety and stuff like that. You have to make sure that you're good for whatever you're doing. But like, I know that like, if I know that I have more inside of me, and I'm just
Hmm.
like, you know what, like I'm just gonna get out now. Like I would just get out anyways in a couple of minutes. I'm just gonna get out now, right? And then you get out and you have that thing inside of you where you're just like, I had more in me, I had more in the tank. This is what I could have done different, and this is what I mean by like you can only change it now, because you can't
Yeah.
change the thing that you're doing now later. Later you can only change it now. So for
Hmm.
from and like that's part of like being in the mud. That's part of being the lotus, like inside of the mud. That's part of like like sitting inside of those things. It's that's what it is, right? Sometimes you just have to
Right.
sit there. You have to embrace like the challenges that life is giving you right now, and you really just have to embody that and become the lotus, right? You have to become the
Right.
dirt in order to become the lotus. So you have to take those things. But
Right.
but let's move on to the next one. What do you got for the next one?
Our next quote, it kind of has something similar to that, but it's a David Goggins quote. I love his quotes because he's
I
such a
love David
badass.
Goggins. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hard motherfucker. So
Like you this morning.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, for me waking up early, this is a first for me. So I'm busting through walls this morning, right? So, like I said, I
Oh
got.
yeah.
But it's when you think that you're done, you're only 40% into what your body's capable of doing. That's just the limits that we put on ourselves. And I take that quote, I think both physically and mentally, right? Like obviously I can think at the
Mhm.
gym, right? And I'm pumping out reps. I'm at 10, I'm getting tired, and I'm like, you know what? When I get tired, I'm like, I think of this quote sometimes actually. I'm like, when I start to feel that, that my arm's getting tired, I'm like, that's only
Mhm.
40%, baby, and I keep on pushing. Because your mind's telling you that this is it, but your body's capable of so much more. And the same thing goes mentally. You know, it's I don't know, it's a little harder to talk mentally, but I would say when you're say I don't know if you're running a marathon, right, and your mind is telling you I can't do it. It's I don't know how long a marathon even is, honestly, but
It's I think it's 36.2 miles.
holy crap. Yeah, see,
Yeah,
like, right away, I would
36.2.
tell myself I can't do it, right? I've never done a marathon. Maybe that's a new goal I can set for myself. But
I'll do it with you.
yeah, let's do it, man. I'm
100%.
down. But like, yeah. So if I'm running, I'm trying to run 36 miles. I'm at 10 miles. My body's starting to feel tired. Then my mind's telling me, I'm done. It's not even my body. It's like my mind's telling me, man, I got 26 more miles done to go. There's no way I can do this. And you start feeding yourself those negative thoughts. And I'm a big believer on, I don't know if it's really called manifestation in this case, but you're telling yourself you can't do it. You're telling yourself you can't do it, and
Mm-hmm.
then you're not able to push yourself to actually accomplish something, right? And I think it's important to know that when you feel like you hit a wall or when you feel like you can't do it, just keep on doing it. You know what I mean? Like, don't be a, it
Mm-hmm.
goes back to your quote, don't be a bitch. I like the don't be a bitch thing. I don't know why. But it's when you feel like you can't do it anymore, keep on doing it. Push yourself to that limit. That's how you get to the next level, all right? It kind of comes, it's not really related, and I guess it's kind of related to fear. When you say, you get to that edge of you face fear and you got to push the edge to get out of your comfort zone. This is kind of similar, but more in a physical or mental sense of feeling like you can't. I guess it's a fear of failure, right? I mean, you fear you can't run this marathon. You fear you can't put a bench 300 pounds. It's you're telling yourself you can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just fucking do it. I mean, don't be stupid and throw 500 pounds and have the bar fall on your chest. But I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, 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 yeah. Like most things have to be like reasonable, right? Like
yeah,
if you haven't
incremental.
achieved,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
little by
incremental. That's the
little.
that's the word. Yeah, yeah.
And that's with anything, right? When your goals, you look at a goal, right? My goal is to start a business. If I look at that goal, I'm gonna be like, damn, I can't do it, But if I take it step by step in increments, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
I can accomplish these little things. Like right now, I'm trying to do a vending machine business, right? So right now, I'm watching videos on how to repair vending machines, how to, install the credit card thingamadoo, and
Mm-hmm. Think I'm gonna do.
so I'm just doing like, and I have a list of things I want to learn before I even start attacking certain actions, and then I have my action list, right, and then I can put together the business plan, blah blah blah. But if I look at it as I'm gonna start a vending machine, but it's such a bigger thing, right, and it's like scary, and it's like there's no way I can do this, right? So if I break it up into smaller pieces, um, it makes it more obtainable for my mind and just in general, right? And with goals, you can't just look at the overall goal. You gotta take the next step, take the next step, take the next step. And I think that's important with anything in life. It's you gotta take it little by little, otherwise you're gonna get overwhelmed, right?
I
And
have an amazing quote from that. I forgot
yeah,
who it was by, but it's by like one of those spiritual philosophers, like from back in the day,
hmm
maybe like the Gandhi or something like that. I forgot who it was, but it's the man who moves a mountain starts by carrying small stones first.
yeah,
And it's and you can translate that into anything. You can translate that into working out, or you can translate that into a business or anything like that, right? It's like, don't look at like the big goal that you have to do, right? Don't look at the big
yeah,
mountain you have to move. Like, understand that you have to move the mountain, and then understand that if you need to move the mountain to the left or to the right, or further back or backwards or whatever, that you have to start carrying the small stones, or you have to start
yeah.
loading up the what's it called, the truth, those things that the Mexicans out there, Mexican, don't, people don't hate me on the internet, don't cancel me, but like they put the things inside of there, the rocks, and they move it, the one with the single wheel, the wheelbarrow, that's what it is. But
Right.
so it's like you start with a wheelbarrow, you start with a rock, you start with a stone, you start with whatever's the first thing that you can achieve off of the list, and then you can check that off for, because that's how you start to develop confidence in yourself. That's how you start to develop you give yourself proof, you give yourself receipts. And if you don't have those receipts and you don't have the proof, then you can't trust yourself to move the entire mountain if you haven't moved a quarter of it first, right? But by the time
Right.
that you show yourself that you've moved the quarter of it, or that you've become a quarter way proficient inside of the business that you're trying to, make, or the body that you're trying to achieve, or anything like that, once you get that 25% done, you've proven it to yourself. You have a receipt for yourself. You
Mhm.
have evidence that you can back yourself up on that. I can't that no matter how hard that rest of that 50% of the way is, or the 75% of the way is, for me to get the rest of that business done, or the rest of my body done, I'm going to be able to do it because I did 25% already. But if you're looking at
Right.
the overarching goal and you haven't even started, it's going to be impossible for your mind to even comprehend that you
Right.
need that what the first step is, right? Because the first step is gigantic. And that's why making a plan is so big, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because having a plan just makes it so much more digestible, right? Like starting a business, holy fuck, that's a lot of work, you know what I mean? But if you
Mhm.
do little by little, right? Okay, I'm gonna watch some video, make goals of just little things, little tasks. Like I'm gonna watch some videos on how to repair the machines, how to do this, and also start joining groups where people talk about vending machine business, get in the conversation, network, blah blah blah. Like little by little, and then I don't even notice that I'm doing all this work, and then all of a sudden, hopefully it comes to fruition, and it is going to
Mhm.
come to fruition, right? I'm believing in it, and I'm gonna do it. And that's the biggest thing is, man, manifestation is such a huge thing, and there's so many things that go into that, right? There's a lot of woo woo stuff, but there's also woo woo. Isn't that the guy behind the Cubs thing? Go woo woo, Randy woo woo. Is that his
I
name?
don't even know. I just know, like, when I say woo woo, like you say woo woo. So when you say woo, I'm gonna start saying woo woo.
Woo woo.
We're gonna make it our thing. Woo woo.
But yeah, there's a lot of woo woo out there, right? Spiritual energy, or some higher power. I don't know what's out there, right? I'm a very open minded person, and I'm a big believer in there's some crazy, powerful energy out there, and everything is just woo woo. So, but
Mhm.
manifestation is more than woo woo to me. It's more of the just that positive mindset, right? When you're looking for something, you're gonna find it, right? So if you're looking for something negative, if you're thinking negative, you're gonna find the negative things, right?
Yes.
If I find ways I can't make my business successful, that or think why I can't have my business be successful, that's where I'm gonna go, right? And then that's what's gonna come to fruition because I'm really finding that. But then if I think positive, right, I'm gonna, my mind's gonna find the positive in everything. So it's like that one. I think we've talked about it before. That Tony Robbins thing. If you look for the color red, and you're
Mhm.
on the road, you're gonna remember the red cars you see. But if you think of the color yellow, you're gonna remember the yellow cars you see. So it's whatever you're looking for is what you're gonna find, right? And that's why it's important to always look for the positive in every situation, right? And that comes down to when you're in a negative situation, you look for the positives out of it, right? So you can easily just rabbit hole through the negatives, but you got to really be strong and look at the positives from it and grow from it, right? And actually, it's I actually got a quote in front of me right now. Is every problem is a gift. Without problems, we would not grow. That's a Tony Robbins quote.
That's
And
beautiful, man. Yeah.
yeah, so look at every problem as a gift, right? You try to run them. I don't know. You try to run 10 miles and you only run five. And then you're looking at yourself, man, I'm worthless. I can't run, 10 miles, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, it's a gift because now you can, I guess in a way troubleshoot like, why can't I run the 10 miles?
Yes.
Do I need to change my diet? Do I need to, get better sleep? Do I need to get in better? I need to get in better shape. So
Mhm.
in a way it helps you grow, helps you become better at what you're trying to do, right? And it's like failure, right? Problems, failures, all that negative stuff is actually positive things, right? Because without that, you're not going to become any better at anything, right? You can be comfortable and just, it's like when you relate it back to video games, you can beat level one over and over again, right? And just be comfortable beating level one over and over again, but that's boring, right? But then you go to level two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, and then you start losing. It's hard, and you're like, "Fuck this game. This is hard."
Mhm.
Throw your controller, but then, but then you really work at getting hard, getting hard. So it's a gift, right? Now you're like, okay, it's hard. It's making you grind to get harder, right? Grind to get harder.
Grind to get
Oh,
harder.
grind to get harder, baby. But it's anything, right? I can relate to baseball, right? I'm pitching in a game, and I blew a game at the end. I gave the game winning hit. you know, I can either sit there and cry like a little bitch, or I can get up and be like, okay, no, why was I in that situation? How can I do better next time? And I grow from it, right? So any situation where it's you look at it as a problem or you look at it as an issue, there's actually something in there where it's a gift, right? And it's even things that are not in your control, it's a gift, right? It's just so many you always look at that positive growth out of a negative situation. You put your mindset that way, you're gonna have such more of a monumental life. And it's just you look at everything that happens to you. How can I grow from this? How can I grow from this? Right? Just think that way. Like, oh fuck, I messed up something. How can I grow from this? It's just don't keep on going to the negative because bad things are meant to happen to make you better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the output that you're expecting, you need to have like a similar input, you know? And it's like if you're like going back to like the marathon thing because like I've done like, I've done a couple like races, not marathons, but I've done a couple races. And you know, it's like that if you're looking to like run the marathon and like you haven't run a 5K, it's like your input is not even going to be the execution for your output. You're expecting the output of like a marathon, right? But if you
Right.
haven't even started at a 5K or if you haven't even run a mile or whatever, like your input is going to be very low. But the more you run, right, the more you start to stack that thing, the more you run a mile, right, and then you run 5 the
Uh,
next time, or and then you keep on stacking those 5 miles. Eventually, like you're gonna bridge that gap, and eventually your input is going to be exactly where your output is, right? And then you can give it
mhm.
more because you're expecting a lesser time, right? So then you can start to stack those things and make it really easy for you, not easy for you to achieve, but like your input is going to be so much closer to the output that you're expecting than if you started at no miles and you're expecting to do a marathon. You could do it,
Right.
but it might take you 10 hours. But if you're trying to
Yeah.
qualify for, let's say, Boston or whatever, right, and you need to be sub 3, it would be really hard for you to match that output that you're expecting. So yeah, that's beautiful, man. And
Yeah.
again, for the energy thing, man, and for the reticular activating system, these are beautiful things to bring up because like I really think that these are the most important things. Like you have to have this positive energy when you're going out there. You have to literally walk through life like nobody can touch you, or the universe has your back, or
Right.
like God has your
Yeah.
back, right? You have to think like that because if you're going through life and like you're kicking rocks all day and you're looking at the ground, you're like, fuck this can, fuck this, fuck that, like fuck everything's fucking bullshit or whatever. Everything
Yeah.
is going to be bullshit. Literally
Right.
everything that you can imagine is going to be bullshit. Your food's going to be shit. The coffee you drink is going to be shit. Your fucking work is going to be shit. But like if you really think about it and like you walk through life like you're untouchable, and that's
Yep.
not saying being cocky, right? That's
Yeah.
just saying like, that's bringing up your aura, like making sure that your aura is powerful, that
Yeah.
you believe in yourself, right? And it starts
Right.
with building a little bit of evidence inside of yourself and doing those things like real small. But like the moment you start to do those things, the moment that you start to be like, I believe in myself. I'm gonna walk through today that just today, right? I'm gonna walk through today like I have an enormous amount of energy and an aura, right? And then all of a sudden like your frequency changes, like people
Yep.
look at you different. They're just like, what's
Yep.
different about you? You're glowing today. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you there's something about you today, and it's because you believe in yourself today, right? And those are the things with like energy and the things that you see, because now once you start to shift, your everything happens internally, right? As much
Yeah.
as people don't want to believe that, it all happens internally. And the moment you make that shift
Agreed.
inside of you, everything happens to shift outside of you too, because then you start to everything that you look at, like this, too hot this coffee that was boiled at fucking a Thornton's gas station that they burned the beans, it tastes like shit, but it's delicious because I have a fucking coffee today. I
Right.
was able to
Yeah.
spend that 129 or however much they are at the gas stations now. Um, inflation times 7.
Yeah.
But not anymore. Trump. Woo, woo. But it's like once you start to look at like those things in like a different eye, different perspective, then you start to see that this coffee is beautiful even though it's burned. My work is
Right.
shit, but it's paying me, right? I can
Right.
still pay the bills inside of my house. Like once you start to change your internal frequencies, and this is where manifestation happens, right? You
Yeah.
flip that switch and everything starts to change outside of your reality once you
Yeah.
change your internal reality. And it's like, it's really that thing where it's like, as above, so below. And what it really means is like, who you are internally is going to translate who you are externally. And it's like you're the same person inside as you see outside.
That was, dude, that was beautiful. That was so good.
Thank you. But I do have to cut this podcast. Unfortunately, I have to cut this podcast short. But we should do this like tonight or
Yeah,
tomorrow for the episode 10, man, because this was amazing. This was
hell yeah.
25 minutes of fucking brilliance, like I
Yeah.
think.
I want
At
to I
least
want to
from
end it with one of the quotes you said before. You can't be
please, yeah.
hateful if you're grateful, or something like that. I don't know what you said, but
Yes,
it's true,
yes,
right? If
yes.
you walk around being positive, you have that big energy, you're gonna attract that same energy back, right? But if you're gonna be the
Yes.
sad, negative kid, you're gonna attract so much more negativity in your life. So just do your best to be positive every single fucking day. Wake up, be like, I'm the fucking man. I'm gonna make the money. I'm gonna have the best life, and just keep on saying these positive things to you. What you tell yourself in your mind, it's gonna attract in your life, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
tell yourself, oh, I'm a broke kid. If you keep on telling yourself that stuff, you're not gonna attract, the good stuff in life. You're gonna attract the negative. So whatever you feed yourself in your head, whatever you feed the energy you feed the universe, that's what you're gonna get back. So do your
Mm-hmm.
best to push positivity into the universe, and the woo woo will come back to you, and you're
Woo-hoo.
gonna and you're just gonna have such a more powerful life. I've been a prime example of that. You've been a prime example of that, right? It's just the energy you give out is the energy you're gonna give in. Don't matter what you go through, you can't control what happens. Just make the best out of every fucking thing, and just let the woo woo do its thing, and
Woo-hoo.
just be positive and fucking go through your day and bust through walls.
Hell yeah. Bust through those fucking walls, baby. Episode 9 has been a banger. We're gonna leave it at that. And hell yeah, man. I love you. And
Love you too,
let's
man.
keep this bad boy going.
Yep.
I'm gonna get it uploaded as soon as I can, and then tonight, if you're available, I'm
I
ready to
am,
bang
dude.
out episode
I,
10
I can
tonight.
bang out another one, man. I woke up with a
I'm
Woody
ready to
this
throw
morning.
you
I'm
over
ready
this
to
table,
bang.
and
I'm ready
I'm
to
ready to hit
bang.
you with my wood, baby. All right, brother. I'm ending it.
All right.
Episode 9. It's been
Yes,
amazing.
sir.
All
Peace.
right. I'll
Love
see
you,
you.
man. Yep.
Love you too, brother.